and welcome to Reconcilable Differences. I'm Phillip George Jr.
I am Paul Smith.
And today's episode is going to be a fun episode, Paul, is should adult sports fans wear jerseys? Sport jerseys.
You said this was a fun topic.
It's a fun topic, and this came about because I listened to a lot of sports radio in the past, and this is one of their topics that I heard one day, and they're saying that, you know, when you're an adult, you shouldn't be wearing the jerseys. Like, you're not on the team, bro. Like, take it down a notch, you know, kind of deal, right? And so I thought it'd be a great conversation for us to have.
So the sports shows, after they could not trash Aaron Rodgers anymore, right? They decided to go to this topic.
Well, again, I'm talking about it several years ago, and there's a bunch of, I'm sure there's programs in your areas that you listen to. I don't know exactly which show it was, but they just made it out to be like, if you're the guy that's wearing the jersey, like come on, bro. You know what I mean? Like, how can you be wearing that jersey? And what I like to say is, you can wear whatever you want to. It's about fandom. Like when I wear my jersey, I know that, hey, it's just like another T-shirt, really. I know that I'm not on the team. I know that I don't affect the outcome. It's just fandom, you know?
Well, first off, I am still holding out hope that some of my favorite sports teams are going to give a call to me and call me up to the bigs.
Yeah, I
All
got you. I got you.
I have many years left of eligibility once I get my knee fixed anyway, all right? Because right now I can't run.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. So, you know, can I just say that I think this is a crazy, ridiculous topic to say that you can't do something?
Well, didn't you say, we were talking before, didn't you say that you had watched some videos on it and they were very, some explicitives, right? Some superlatives.
Like constant F-bombs
about this topic.
About taking away one's freedoms. Like it was, like we were talking about freedom of speech.
Right. Well, again, I get it. Kids love to do it, obviously, but you know, adults do too as well. You know, I'm a diehard Panther fan, unfortunately, at least for the foreseeable future. I like to wear my jersey, but I will tell you, I'm wearing probably the most comfortable piece of clothing I own is my Red Sox jersey we got when we went up there and saw a game in Fenway. And it's a big poppy jersey.
And you had obstructive view, I think.
I did have an obstructed view. I don't want to talk about that.
And you didn't even care that you couldn't see half the game because you got a poppy jersey.
I got a poppy jersey. I had
a beer and a hot dog.
That's right.
Yeah.
I had a great
Yeah.
And again, it was obstructed, Paul, but it wasn't like terrible. I mean, basically, where like I could barely, like the pole was there, right, and I could just not see around at first base really, but the rest of the field I could see, and again, it's a beautiful field,
and you can see the scoreboard, and you saw
Monster.
that the Red Sox beat the Yankees.
Yeah, I did. It was
opener.
fantastic.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
Yeah,
and the Green Monster is pretty cool out there as well. That is a unique thing about
the
Boston.
best ballpark in America, as far as I'm concerned.
I got this jersey, and I'm going to tell you right now, it is the most comfortable piece of clothing I own. I enjoy wearing it, and again, I like wearing it when I watch the games, when we go out and check, what's that place you like to go? The Red Sox?
The Brick House.
The Brick House, yeah.
It's a Patriots sports bar, and the Red Sox. One of the owners is from New England. So.
Oh, okay. But I like to go for the Red Sox, not the Patriots.
Yeah.
With that being said, we'll have some information about that restaurant in the description. I think it's perfectly fine for adults to wear jerseys. And it's again, fandom. Do you come down on that as well?
I live in the United States of America. I wear whatever I would like.
Fair
That's where I'm coming down.
Fair
And
enough.
I don't appreciate you telling me that I can't wear my favorite sports jersey. In fact, I'm not going to sit here and listen to this while you badmouth the United States of America.
That's a famous scene.
Yeah, and I'd walk out, except I'm not supposed to leave.
That's right. Yeah, don't walk out. This is important. So what I thought,
But I do feel that way.
I thought what it would be a great way or a great representation is just to look at the business of jersey sales.
Oh,
Yeah. So to prove my point that there's a lot of us that like to wear the jerseys, that buy new jerseys. And so I got the top 10. This is from gambling.com, updated 4/13/23. So pretty accurate,
Yep.
up-to-date information. Number one selling jersey, the Dodgers. Did you know that? with over 2 million sold annually?
Because California is the most populous state in the United States of America.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably the main reason.
Yeah. Well, I think it's dollar. I think it's dollar to over $2 million, or maybe units. I think it's units. I apologize.
If it's dollars, that's because basically, let's see, there's a thread tax in California.
Right.
There's a button tax in California.
There's a lot of taxes.
There's a tax if you put the shirt on. If you walk into the ballpark with a shirt on, you have to pay more at the gate. You get my meaning?
Yeah, no.
It's California.
It is units. So over 2 million sold per year, which is pretty good. What number 2 is?
Well, before we get into number 2, you think they figured out that we are not located in California?
No, we're live in Cary, North Carolina.
Yeah. What's number 2?
Number 2 is the Eagles. Like I don't even get. They're not America's team. They're not winning.
They're not even Philadelphia.
I mean, they're winning, but they're not winning. You know?
But they're not even Philadelphia's team when you think about it.
Yeah, I find it odd. And then this is what gets me is the top 10 from gambling.com is a mixed bag of goodies as far as the top 3 sports, right? So the third one is the Astros. Again, they've been winning recently. It's a big market.
Cheating people. They're cheaters. That's why the Patriots are leading somewhere, because they're cheaters.
The opinions expressed by Paul Smith are Paul Smith and not the On the Move team or EXP Realty. With that being said, the fourth one, 49ers.
Again, California.
Yeah, and they're over like 1.5 million per year.
Probably for the same reason.
And I'm going to rapid fire 5 through 10 right quick. Mm-hmm. Golden State, 1.5 million.
California.
Yeah. Lakers, 1.3 million. Cowboys, 1.3 million.
Almost California. It'll be California when the San Andreas Fault drops into the ocean.
Okay. The Padres at 1.1.
California.
Bulls, 1.1.
California for the same reason when the earthquake comes.
And Yankees, 1 million.
But I can't say that about an earthquake, because that means we'd be gone too.
That's right. That's a lot of millions of jerseys sold every year for nobody to be wearing them, right?
But geographically, like 3/4 of them are all in the same area.
Well, that's the number one market.
It's because of population. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So I wanted to talk a little bit.
Why is it the Cleveland Browns jerseys on there?
Because I'm pretty sure Cleveland has a population of like not a lot.
Or Indianapolis Colts.
Not a big market. Not a big market.
Okay. There you go.
Panthers wasn't on the list either.
There you go. There you go.
What I do, though, is I know something that it struck me odd because the gambling.com had the top 10, mm-hmm. and then it had them top 10 for each like sport, right? So your Celtics, which I find very odd, they didn't make the top 10, obviously, mm-hmm. but they're number 4 with over like 995,000 jerseys sold every year. So 4th in the NBA. But what I don't understand is why they wouldn't be higher. I mean, that's a storied franchise.
That's population.
You know? I know, but again, I found that odd. I thought you'd be interested because of being a Celtic fan. And then the Red Sox, because I wore this in my jersey here, was out of the top 10 for MLB. With only 675,000 sold, and that struck me as odd, you know.
But 675,000 sold. What did that cost you? $50? $100? $150? Does she know how much you paid for it?
I bought it at the game at Fenway, $350.
Do the math. Do 350 times 600. Isn't that like 22 million, something like that?
It's a fair amount. With
the big.
But that was this type of jersey, though.
With all those shirts being sold per year, you think they could afford to take that pole down in front of you so you could see?
You would think they could renovate that to make it more viewing, but again, it wasn't terrible. But I will tell you this: I got a signed ball, mm-hmm. right when I bought the jersey. That ball is worth like $200. Jackie Bradley Jr.
Yeah.
Last time I checked it out.
I remember. Boy, you really got into that game when we brought you up
I had a great time.
Wow, you did. Hey, that's good. That was the main reason for going up there. But I thought we were going to talk about should you be wearing the jersey? Because I have some thoughts about that.
So, well, I want you to get into that. The whole point about talking about how many are sold is just to say that somebody's wearing these jerseys. There's a lot of them sold, obviously. So I would think the general consensus of the population, based on just the commerce of the business of buying and selling jerseys, would say that the overall consensus is, yes, you can wear your jersey even if you're an adult.
Yep. And I just realized how I can stand out in the crowd. Like if I go someplace and there's a big crowd, if I want to stand out by wearing a unique jersey, it's like wear the Milwaukee Brewers, which no one cares about unless you're in Milwaukee and you play for the Brewers. Right?
Well, yeah.
Like it's like, hey,
that's a pretty small market.
Does Milwaukee have a professional team? Yeah, it's the Milwaukee Brewers, and then tell them something about the Milwaukee Brewers.
I will tell you what'll get you some dirty looks, and I know this from a real world example. I got a free ticket to go see a football game. It was between State and Duke. I showed up in my Carolina shirt. It didn't go super great.
That's bold.
Yeah,
that's bold. Most people tell you were in the wrong stadium.
There were some words said. Yeah, there were some words said. Absolutely.
Yeah. Speaking about that, that's my position. Words were said because you were exercising your rights in the United States of America, freedom of speech. Freedom of speech. So the first thing I want to say is, should adults wear sports or team jerseys? And my answer is yes. And you know why? Wear whatever you want. Now, I'm leaving out a lot of expletives that I heard on other things that, like the sports shows you were talking about. Wear whatever you want. That's why we live in the United States of America. That's why the guy that grew up in Ottawa, Canada, wears a Yankees hat. Why? Because he has rights. He has freedoms to do just that. All right.
You know, some people wear it just for fashion.
Well, look at me.
Yeah. You actually are a fan. I'm saying I've seen people. I was like, "Hey, are you a Red Sox fan?"
No.
And they're like, "No, I just like the hat."
Oh, somebody gave him the hat.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So why do I wear them? All right. I wear them. Three main reasons why I wear them.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Number one, I wear them to relax. You made that comment too. You feel real relaxed in that jersey.
Oh, it's the most comfortable.
And it might be somewhat mental because of your experience in Fenway Park. All right.
The only thing more comfortable is nakedness.
Okay. Yep. And is nakedness.
Yeah. That's how comfortable this jersey is.
Okay. What's in that cup, by the way? It's not pernicious, right?
No, it is not.
Okay, good. Because I wanted to make sure that shirt wasn't coming off.
Oh no.
Right. By the way, my three are
Shots fired. Shots fired.
My three are not in any particular order. But number two, I wear them because they are a clean item in my closet. And this is absolutely true. All right? It's a clean item in my closet when I get ready.
Fair enough.
Last but not least, I wear them to piss off Patriot haters. Yeah. And again, these aren't in a particular order, but that might be my number one.
There's a lot of those haters.
Because it does not matter where I go when I have this on. Somebody makes it, and most of the time it's not a rude comment. But even if it is a rude comment, it leads to a dialogue. I'm a real estate agent. Eventually, I bring the conversation over to real estate. Mm-hmm. Hey, you in the market to buy a seller house? Yeah, I'm Paul Smith on the move team. I'd love to help you. You know, does 6 o'clock tomorrow work?
Let me ask you a question, Paul.
I promise. I'll wear the shirt.
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever sold to somebody, helped somebody buy or sell a house that hated the Patriots?
Yes, I have.
Interesting.
I've actually walked in listed houses. When I walked inside, I walk up into their rec room, and there is not an inch that's not covered by something to do with the Yankees or the New York Giants.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, I don't dislike the Yankees, even though I'm a Boston Red Sox fan.
I do. I dislike the Yankees.
But I openly, and I will say, and I did to this person, that I despise the New York Giants.
Yeah.
Why is that? Because they beat my Patriots twice in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I hate you guys. I got the listing.
I like that a little bit, though.
You know why he gave it to me? Because I told him I will work as hard as I can to get my sign out from in front of this house.
Does anybody register that if it wasn't for the Giants, the Patriots would have 2 more rings?
In a perfect season.
Yeah. 2 more rings and a perfect season.
And we would not have to listen to Mercury Morris sing how praises of their 1973 football team that no one cares about anymore.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I will tell you this. I have felt very passionate about my dislike for Duke. Again, I don't even like saying the word. But with that being said, I help Duke fans. If you're a Duke fan out there, or you're a Yankees fan out there, just understand, I still can help you. I just think that your choice in teams is bad, but your choice in realtors could still be good.
Now, okay, so disclaimer here.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Because you do realize that our agency paperwork, whether it be for a buyer or a seller,
Right.
says we cannot discriminate.
That's right.
And
That's
I'm
right.
pretty sure that it
I always
says,
say, why would you want to?
I'm pretty sure it says that we cannot discriminate against Duke fans. I think that's in there.
I don't discriminate against them. I just talk bad about
can't.
them behind their back.
Well, we can't.
I don't
It's
do
illegal.
That. I don't do that. I'm very upfront with my fandom, and again, we've done another sport themed show that was the rivalry episode. I was very clear about, again, anybody but Duke, right? But with that being said, I think it's just have fun with it. If you enjoy it, kids love it. And it kind of just stays with you. I mean, when you first go to your first game, you first watch your first game with your family, and you're cheering, and you like I grew up here, and I'll tell you this, I enjoy college basketball very much. But when you're watching it with a group of fans and your friends that like the same team, and you're living and dying on every shot, you know what I mean? Like it's coming down to the wire, and you see the lead change back and forth, back and forth. I mean, there's been a lot of just fantastic games with Duke and Carolina that you're sitting there on the edge of your seat. And yes, I represent. Yes, I have my Carolina jersey on. Yes, I'm talking about it. And I told you when they beat them in the Final Four, I was surrounded by Duke fans. It was awesome. It was just fantastic.
Sure it was. I'll tell you, when we came from Boston in 1995, and one of the things that I think we all embraced was the excitement for college sports in this area, because it was non-existent in Boston. It may have changed a little bit recently, but when we were there, it was all about the pro teams, because we had so much success over the years.
That's right.
In all the sports. But yeah, it's exciting to watch the fans down here. I would agree with that.
So if you were going to go pro in something, what do you think you had the best chance? Hockey or baseball?
Chess.
Chess. Well, you need to get your knee right so you can get back out there on the golf course.
Yeah, I was never going to be a pro sport. Oh, of course, when I was 8 years old, I had a dream.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's before a lot of these sports were invented, though, right?
Oh man, you know what sport? Speaking about that,
shots fired.
let me tell you what sport I pretty much played as a kid. We just didn't know it existed. Was lacrosse, because lacrosse, us when I was a kid, would have been the ultimate combination of football, hockey,
right,
and baseball, all those sports. Because
you got
because you could throw something towards somebody, all right, and score, all right. You could hit somebody, including with a stick, which you can't do in hockey because that's slashing, or ice sticking, something like that, or boarding, depending on how you use it.
Right.
But lacrosse didn't exist when I was in high school.
Meaning it didn't exist at all? Or you just didn't know about it?
Wasn't a sport. Okay. I didn't know about it.
How about rugby? That's a weird
Rugby was non-existent back then too. My first experience with rugby when this was in the 80s, when I worked for a biomedical company up in Massachusetts, and one of the field service engineers from Tennessee played on a rugby team. And when I actually traveled with him for a period of time, and he told me his face looked like he'd been hit with a baseball bat because his nose had been broken so many times that he said, as a matter of fact, in the next few weeks he was going in to have surgery because they had to remove all the bone spurs and broken bone pieces from his sinus system. And it's like, and this is from rugby, and he said, I said, no, I'll pass.
I'm good,
I'll pass on rugby.
That might not be the sport for me. I got you. I think if it's crazy, I think it might be a tougher version of football. From what I've seen, they're pretty rough. You know, they're pretty like.
Number one, they're as big as damn football
Yeah.
players.
I don't think they have as much
And
padding, and then they're hitting in a different way.
they don't have any.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, no helmet either, right?
No.
Yeah. Those guys are crazy, man. I think you should wear your jersey. Paul says wear whatever you want to. It's the United States of America. And I would say, let us know. The whole point of doing the show is to interact with you guys. If you think you shouldn't wear jerseys, tell us why.
Yeah.
If you think you should, tell us why. If you think you want to talk about how I'm crazy for being a Duke disliker, then get on there and tell us. I'd love to have the conversation, and I absolutely love college banter.
By the way, I did a poll here today.
You did a poll here
from
today?
our studios.
The
Yes.
studio
Yes.
audience,
When I was
okay.
walking back into the studio, I ran across a couple of contractors.
Okay.
They're working on a building, as you know.
That's right. That's right. Okay.
And I posed this question to them about, should you have the right to wear whatever you want? Okay. I can't really say how they responded because we meant to keep this PG, but they pretty much made it clear to
There
me
were some superlatives.
that if I was to try to take away the jerseys that they chose to wear, that I wouldn't have to worry about real estate anymore.
Well,
I think that says it all.
I think it's a great topic. It's a fun topic, and again, we have watched. Again, I can't even count the number of games that we went out and watched and been, not been a part of, but enjoyed our fandom. We've had a lot of banter over the years about this. We always wear a jersey. I know your wife wears one that's like from 1920 or something like that.
All right, so
it's got some like guy on it that.
Okay.
No one ever knows.
Okay, don't get started about jerseys and my wife, because the only reason why my wife likes to wear some of the sports jerseys, especially Tom Brady's,
Yeah.
is because she envisions that Tom Brady actually at one time wore that shirt,
Yeah.
and she has Tom Brady next to her,
Well, I was going to bring
which is like, I almost filed papers when
Fair enough.
I heard that. Okay.
Well, I'm going to bring this. This is going to be a little saucy for the audience and everybody, but there's something to be said for a woman in a sports jersey and nothing else.
That's a good point.
Yeah. That's a little saucy.
I got that
but-
vision in my head right now.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Are we almost done? Because I got to go home.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I think we're done. I think we can end on that. Yeah.
Well, on that note, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We love your input. And as always, good selling.